Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. And since we didn't get it in on Sunday, it is time for us to do the NFL Weekly Wrap-Up Monday Night Edition. What's good, Transformer? How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, bro. You know what I mean? I'm still hype off of the Navy beating the Army over the past weekend. But, sometimes, you just got to sit back and watch the NFL, appreciate the NFL a little bit. But still in the back of your mind, you're like, man, the Navy spanked the Army, bro. Like, really did put foots in them. Took them out to the trash, like right before the dumpster guy came by and was like, ready for you to pick up? Here we go, picking you up. Oh, my bad, bro. How you doing?
Yes, they did that. That happened. That happened, and there's nothing I can say about it till next year. So we got what we got, and motivation to get in the gym and work harder and run more sprints and ruck uphill and do all that. So
that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That's for sure.
You know what's got to suck real quick before we get into the main thing here is when you're playing for a school, whether it's Army or Navy or what have you, and you're in a rivalry game and it's your last one and you're about to graduate. And so you got to go out on a loss because, you never get to redeem that. There's a bunch of Black Knights that have to go out, knowing that their very last game, their very last Army Navy game was, taking a butt cutting to the arch rival. So that's tough, man. That's tough. But on
the flip side, if you Navy, you admit shipment, you like
absolutely. You get to
go out with no more.
Not a little win, but a big win, a dominating win. So absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Get them the guys their props. But man. So we didn't get to do this last night on Sunday like we normally do. But the benefit to not doing it on Sunday is that we get to go ahead and recap all the games at one time because Monday Night Football just finished. So let's go ahead and get to it. But before we do that, you know what time it is. Going to hit the little spiel, and we'll be right back. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. All right. Let's go ahead and get right to it, man. Let's do it.
All right. So here we go. We're in week 14, excuse me. Week 15. 15. Yes, week 15. Right. Here we go, wrapping up week 15.
Getting down to the end of it, huh? Getting down to the end of the regular season. It always makes me sad when I see the season getting close to the end, but
to the end.
That's right.
Yeah.
But then we got a good little playoff stretch and then all the way up to the Super Bowl. So,
yes, sir.
Got plenty of good football left.
Oh, yeah. This is about to be primetime football, man. Primetime football. But anyway, wrapping up week 15, we like to start off with the games that literally just turned off. So we're going to start off with the Monday night game. We're going to rewind all the way into the Thursday night game, and then we're going to move on from there with the rest of the Sunday night slate. So we're going to start off with the Bears. They have officially gone 0-7 on the road as they lose to the Minnesota Vikings 12-30. They are now 4-10. Of course, they are eliminated out of the playoffs, so they will not get in. But Caleb Williams, decent showing, 18 of 31, 191 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift got a little bit going, but ultimately the Vikings and Brian Flores dialed up a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams and really held them into a really last-minute touchdown, honestly. But really, pitched out a shutout game for the most part. What do you think about this game, brother?
Man, so Minnesota just looks good, to your point, man. Brian Flores and that defense. I don't think it's statistically ranked as like a top 5 defense, but that's still a really good defense. They make a lot of plays, they're opportunistic, get after the quarterback, present some confusing schemes. They're they're well coached. Obviously, Brian Flores is an outstanding defensive mind in the game right now. And then, of course, they have the offensive weapons. And if we look at it, Sam Darnold is, again, having the season of his life. Not a super impressive game tonight. 24-40, 231, 5.8 yards per throw, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So not a super impressive game at all, but a solid game. And the difference was just, like you said, Caleb he's a young quarterback, and they were really able to get after him defensively. And, Minnesota's just the better team here. So I think we kind of got what was expected.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, of course, the Vikings do have something to fight for. They're currently second in the NFC North, but they're still in that mix to dethrone Detroit. They do have to play Detroit the last game of the season, and they do run into Green Bay second to last game of the season. So they got a lot to fight for, to even fight for coming from the 5th seed all the way up to the number 1 seed in the conference. So they had a lot to fight for. They showed it tonight by, giving the Bears, essentially a butt cutting before that last minute touchdown by the Bears. But, like you said, man, Brian Flores, he dials up a great defense, for the Vikings to expose. Big shout out to Justin Jefferson, man, when he scored his touchdown today.
Yeah,
he gave his love to Randy Moss, man. So glad he got well. We love you, Randy. If you ever so happen to tune into the show, we're giving you your love, your support, and everything that you deserve for, having a marvelous career and beating that cancer like you beat a lot of DBs.
That's right. And of course, you would be welcome to call in or join the show anytime.
Absolutely. So, Randy,
that would be amazing.
Come on to the show, man. Come on to the show, Randy. Let's go. That's right. But yeah, man, I mean, not much else to this game, man. The Bears suck. Vikings are better. And good to say that, man. The Bears.
That's about right. Yeah.
The Bears, they're finna go and paint their fingernails and continue on to the. Oh, no, too much, too soon? All right, moving on. Moving on, man. We're going to go with the Falcons. The Falcons finally, the Bruce Demons are away from the Falcons for at least this week. All right. They have finally broke their 4-game losing streak as they beat the Las Vegas Raiders 15-9 in a very, very low scoring game. Nip and tuck a lot. Nobody really got off to any type of great game except for the Bijan Robinson on the run game, as he had 22 carries for 125. So what do you think about the Falcons finally getting a much needed W as they're now 1 game behind Tampa Bay in the NFC South?
I think despite the money he's making, Kirk Cousins won't be the starter in Atlanta next year. I think it's going to be Penix. Because he started off the season pretty well. Then he just I don't know what happened. What was the expression? Fell off the cliff?
Yeah.
Like I was like, wait, what happened? He just got bad, and that was it. Tonight, 11 of 17, 112 for 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Like, these are not Kirk Cousins numbers. The Raiders, man, they compete. They just don't have much.
You bet it on them. That's what happened. You bet it.
Why you always got it? Why you got to blame me?
You did it, man. You did it. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. If the spade is black, it's black, right? Can't call it red. It's a spade, right?
Listen, you was one to. I'm bullish on Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta.
I was right.
Swept the Bucks and did all that. I say, you know what? Transformer was right. I'm going
so listen. Hear me out real quick.
Yes,
if you're on one side of the boat, right, and you're on the other side of the boat, and right now we're even, right? It's like, okay, man, we're not tipping, we're not rolling anywhere. If you come over to my side of the boat and there's nobody on that side of the boat, what happens to the boat?
Boat going to capsize.
It's going to capsize.
That's right.
That's what you did, man. We were riding good over here, picking Atlanta. Atlanta was 6-3, riding cloud 9, flying on cloud 9, and here you go. You come over to the other side of the boat, capsize it, and boom, it happened.
You made me believe that Atlanta was something they're not. So see, that's the last time I listened to you.
Listen to me earlier, and then pull out on the bet.
There you go.
But yeah, nothing much to write home about on this on this game here. I mean, Bijan Robinson did what he was supposed to do. Keep the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands as much as possible. Did a great job. Like I said, with 125 yards, they did a great job of running the football entirely. They had 37 attempts to Kirk Cousins' passing attempts of 17, and they got it 168 yards on the ground, really just wearing down that Las Vegas Raiders defense, or what's left of the Las Vegas Raiders defense.
Left of it,
Max Crosby, I believe, is out for the season. So, they're just completely depleted over there, but they got it done. They're now 7-7 with a fighting chance to, pull out of the NFC South, bearing Tampa Bay loses one of the next 3 games, and they could be right back in there because they do hold the tiebreaker since they did beat them twice this year. So
they sure do.
They went out, and if the Bucks get a L, they just got back in there just that fast.
Well, we'll talk about them. That's we'll talk about those Bucks.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Baker touchdown maker.
Already know.
All right, guys. So that goes to the Monday night football games that just ended. We're gonna rewind all the way into Thursday, in which we had a great NFC West battle. If you're not a fan of high scoring games, you just like defense, right? This was a great game. Watching just tough grit, grinded out football. The Rams beat the 49ers 12-6 in a game of field goals to the highest proportion. Nobody reached the end zone at all. Well, except Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy did reach the end zone. It just so happened to be in the wrong person's hands. The wrong person's hands. So
that's
what do you think about the 12-6 game? And let me, before you go Kyron the Siren, go Irish. Did it for you, bro. Got you.
You already know. No, I was really surprised by the outcome on this one. Just a tough matchup, man. Two teams really playing outstanding defense there.
Correct.
I feel bad for Brock Purdy, man. He has been brutalized by injuries to his weapons this season, and it just, it hasn't. He's in a tough spot, and it may well affect his money coming up here. And it's giving ammunition to all those detractors who said, that he was just a system quarterback or whatever, and that he wasn't really good. But I'm like, no, except for the absolute elite of the elite, take away their weapons and see what they are, right?
Correct.
Come on, man. Like, that's how this game works. But
we saw what Matt Stafford looked like before Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua came back. Right.
That's right.
Ever since they came back, they're seven of the last 9.
So he was really struggling. That's
really struggling.
That's a great analogy.
And that's a Super Bowl champion and a great quarterback. It's not like he's a bum. Great in Detroit. Came over to Los Angeles and won him a Super Bowl. And he looked like a pedestrian out there. Puka Nacua came back. Cooper Kupp came back. Guess what? They won 7 of the last 9. So there you go.
He's looking like real Matt Stafford again. So that's a great analogy, man. So the Rams scraped this out, and they may end up winning this division. And if they win it and get a home game, they could be dangerous for any team that's going out there to play.
Correct. Which would be
I mean, it's not pretty, but the Rams are they're a good physical football team, man. They really are. So, it's tough. It's tough for the 49ers, but I think at this point, they're just trying to get through the season. And really, I'm sure Kyle Shanahan is preaching, hey, we're only a couple of games out. If we finish strong, who knows what can happen? We might be able to get in there. And once you get in, that's all you need. You can make a run. But
absolutely.
They're just in a tough spot, man. They're having difficulty running it. They're having difficulty throwing it. It's just a tough spot to be in. But these guys are going to continue to compete. This is a team that's been in the Super Bowl, multiple times in recent years. So they know what it takes to win. I guess it's just, do they have enough right now? And the answer is probably no, but they are going to continue to compete. So just a good defensive struggle there. And I never mind those.
No. I definitely agree with you. Question: do you think Deebo Samuels is done?
Not done, but I think now we're seeing, like, without the full complement of weapons, and of course, when you don't have the opposite side of what's my man's name? Just got paid, Brandon Ayuk, to help open some things up. It makes it a little tougher. Here we go. What up, Chris Higgins?
MVP3?
Yeah, he's saying Lamar going to get his 3rd MVP.
Oh, got you. Yeah,
but anyway, so that's That's kind of what you got going on there. But really, really good game, man. A tough physical game. Throwback to what football kind of used to be.
Oh, correct, man. You're a little old school over there, so This was.
I'm not saying I'm going to
alley.
see 12-6 every game every week, but it's cool to see now and again, especially in an era, of inflated production.
No, that's true. That's true. The Rams obviously kept it on the ground a lot more, 38 carries to 27 attempts for Matthew Stafford. But, like you said, San Fran just really couldn't get anything going on the ground. Isaac Guerrero is fighting a foot sprain. And as you know, they lost their first two strings of the running game with Christian McCaffrey being out and Jordan Mason being out. So, you coming in with your third string running back already hobbled, you're in for some trouble. And that was the reason why I picked the Rams this week, because I just felt the San Francisco 49ers just have way too many injuries to overcome a hot team, even though, they didn't put up a lot of points, but a hot team like the Los Angeles Rams coming in there. So good win for the Rams. And they are now, like you said, tied for first, but they are in the lead for the division because they hold a tiebreaker against Seattle. And San Francisco, it's looking like the season is dwindling down to a dud here for the 49ers.
That's about right.
You got anything else on this game?
Nah, man, that's it.
All right. We're going to fast forward, to Sunday, 1 o'clock games. The Super Bowl champs remain the champs the way they're winning. 21-7 win against the Cleveland Browns in a game where Patrick Mahomes suffered a high ankle sprain, I believe mid fourth quarter. So he's going to be week to week from here on out going forward, but they still have a 13-1 record. However, the Buffalo Bills are right there on their coattails, so they can't really let up much, but they do got a decent backup in Carson Wentz. He was once a MVP caliber type of quarterback, may have been for one season, but he's shown that he can get it done. And he also now has Andy Reid as a coach.
That's right.
So what do you think about Kansas City's win and the potential of Patrick Mahomes may sitting out a game?
So, man, the Chiefs, man, they can win ugly. And obviously they would like to return to the Chiefs of old that was lighting everything up. But I think they also, as long as they win, that's their major concern, right? And so I don't have a whole lot to say about this. Obviously, you got Jameis just continues to throw picks at an alarming rate. I don't understand what he's been in the league long enough that he should have cleaned this up, but clearly he just has an issue with judgment. But yeah, here's the thing. So Pat Mahomes, he's got the ankle sprain, he's hurt. So I'm curious to see now, what are they going to do? Are they going to sit him? Because I think now they know, especially after last year's playoff run, while home field advantage is nice, they don't have to have it to win, right? They can go anywhere and win. Well, they went to Buffalo and won last year. They went to Baltimore and won last year. Then they went to the Super Bowl and won. So, like, everyone wants home field, but it's not imperative that they get it. And so I think they're saying, we know we need Patrick for the home stretch. So I would sit him. At least this week. I would sit him.
Yeah. I believe their next opponent. I didn't bother looking at their next opponent. I don't think it's a tough one.
Tell you, it might be a divisional. Normally, coming down to this time of year, it is. I
got the Texans, so that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game.
That's gonna be that last three games, they're going against three tough defenses. So, Texans, Steelers, Broncos. I would sit him.
I would too. I would.
I would definitely sit him, rest him up, see how he's good to go for the Steelers game and the Broncos.
That's right.
Like I said, they're going to be some tough defenses.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Those are going to be the two you need. Jameis Winston, 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions on the season. So, again, he can throw as many touchdowns, but he can repeat the same number for interceptions.
So disappointing. So disappointing. He got benched in this game.
Yep. Dorian Thompson Robinson relieved him, but he threw a pick too. So might not be much.
Now Stefanski is trying to figure out what he's going to do because, man, these turnovers will doom you.
Yeah. And Nick Chubb also left the game. As you know, he was fighting back from last season, which he suffered a knee injury. I believe he's going to be out for the remainder of the season with a broken foot. I think he broke a bone in his foot.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
That just sucks for him, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't know if he needs to hang it up or be. I don't know, man. I don't know.
because
He's had a heck of a career, but the injuries are mounting now.
Yeah, you got your knee and you got your foot. I mean, as a running back, you are a running back. You're going to need those feet. You're going to need them legs. So, and he's a strong guy. I mean, I don't doubt that he can come back and still be a performer. Hopefully the foot injury isn't too bad to where he's going to be able to do something in the off season and prepare himself for next season. So, I wouldn't count him out just yet. He's fairly young too, I believe. He's about 27. I don't think he's that old.
I don't think he's that old either. But I think what has he got? 3 ACLs,
Yeah, he tore the ACL, PCL, and MCL last year.
28. So I mean, he should be in his prime. So
yeah. Give him one more shot, man. They love him. They're gonna bring him back. They ain't got nothing to lose anyway.
Nah, you don't do that. You definitely don't let him go. I agree.
That's for sure. All right, you got anything else on this game?
Nah, man, that's it.
All right, we're gonna move on over to the Bengals, who are fighting for their lives to remain in the playoff picture, to try to see if they can snag that last spot. They win against the Tennessee Titans 37-27. What do you think about this game, brother?
I think their defense showed up a little bit in this one. Took 3 picks off Will Levis and got him benched, so that's good. But Will Levis, whatever. But I think, and we talked about this, man. They are wasting a legendary season by Joe Burrow. Correct. 36 touchdown passes, only 8 picks, QBR 74, almost 4,000 yards here. So he'll probably finish up around 4,500 yards on the season, maybe about 42 to 45 touchdowns. He is having one of those years, and it's sad that it's been so wasted. Now, who knows if they can get in and make a run? I think they're just a little too far out for that to happen, so I don't anticipate it. But who knows? But they're still competing, they're still fighting. So credit due for that. And Jamar Chase continues to get busy. He may end up being the Triple Crown leader as well, the Triple Crown winner. So that's huge. But yeah, man, this is I don't know, man. This particular game, I mean, no one expects anything out of Tennessee, right? Because they're just not good. So they're almost not even worth talking about. By the way, what happened to Calvin Ridley, right? I don't think he's ever going to return to form. He was away for that year. He got suspended. And he had a solid year in Jacksonville last year. But now he's, I don't think he's ever going to return to form. And that's sad for somebody with that level of talent. But yeah, man, the Bengals are fighting. It's good to see that teams that, are not quite mathematically eliminated, but still near the bottom of the playoff picture are still competing. Now, obviously, as a Ravens fan, I don't want too much good things for other teams in my division, but think about it, though. I think it would be better for the playoffs and a little more exciting if you had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. I mean,
that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Either team he plays against, Joe Burrow and CJ Stroud. It's gonna be a draw. It'll definitely be a draw at the quarterback position at least. Not saying much for his defense, but he'll at least have a shooter's chance. To get a W against them. They're currently 6-8. They're tied for 8th in the conference. Los Angeles Chargers hold the last spot at 8-6. So they'll need a little bit of magic, to stay undefeated for the remainder of the season. They don't have an easy schedule. They have a divisional opponent against the Browns. They play the Broncos, and they finish with the Steelers. Another divisional opponent. So it's going to be tough. Yeah. And they need the Chargers to lose at least 2 games.
Okay. Oof.
It's gonna be tough. Tough, but I like their fighting, man. The Bengals and the Dolphins, we'll get to them in a second. They're fighting. I'll give them that. They're fighting.
The Dolphins are dead in the water. But anyway.
They're right there with the Bengals.
Yeah, but I think if I had to choose one, I would lean towards the Bengals, yeah.
All right. All right, we're gonna move on here to the Commanders. Getting a Vegas type of win against the New Orleans Saints. They beat the New Orleans Saints 20-19 in a failed 2-point conversion by the New Orleans Saints. They're going to lose and they drop in their division even further. What do you think about this game, brother?
Yeah, well, Commanders are having a good year, finding ways to win. They're winning close games. They've won some blowouts earlier in the year. Jaden Daniels is, he is kind of back to playing well. He went through a blazing hot early stretch, then he calmed down a lot, and now he looks like he's playing well again. So back kind of better oriented to the NFL game now. And, he's doing his thing. And, man, that game coming down to the wire, that was tough. Great drive all the way down by Spencer Rattler, and then the touchdown throw to kind of put them within a point. So, hey, they go for the two, which, obviously hindsight is 2020. So you wonder, would it have made more sense to kick the field goal and then go play for overtime? But not the field goal, the extra point, and then play for overtime. But there's something to be said for coaches that are aggressive. So they went for it. And that shows that they have some confidence in Spencer Rattler. But I'll say, if you looked at that play, Rattler kind of rolled out to the right a bit, and then he threw it to kind of to the corner in the front of the end zone. But he had enough time there, and he had a guy coming across in the middle. But I guess he didn't see him. He could have caught him on the 2-point conversion play. So
yeah,
those are going to be rookie mistakes. But it's good to see that they had the confidence in him to go for that. So
no, that's true. That's true. Jaden Daniels got sacked 8 times. 8. That's a lot. I won't with my rookie being touched that much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of times being touched. And still, he had a great game. 25, 31, 226 on the yardage, 2 touchdowns, and he led the team in rushing as well with 11 carries and 66 yards. But you still don't want your quarterback getting touched that many times. That's not even counting hits. Those are sacks.
Yeah. So, right.
Yeah, man. You don't want your quarterback getting touched that much. Yeah, so hopefully they fix that. That's an offensive line thing or something going on. But boy, that's ugly. So they remain number 7 in the conference. They're 1 game ahead of the Seattle Seahawks, who caught an L that we're going to talk about a little bit later because it was against a certain team. You got anything else about this game right here?
Nah, man, that's it.
All right, we're going to move on over to your Baltimore Ravens in the MV3, according to Christopher in the chat. Lamar Jackson had one hell of a game, without a shadow of a doubt. 25 attempts, 21 completions, 290 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he also chipped in another 65 yards on the ground with just 6 carries, making it 10 yards a carry. And they blast a porous team in New York named the Giants. Giants are now 0-8 at home. The Ravens move to 9-5. I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away. This is your football team.
Well, yeah, I'll just say that's what you're supposed to do when you're playing against a bad team. And, one of the things I said, if you remember, was that Baltimore needed to use this as a tune-up because obviously they have a chin strap match, chin strap game next week against their arch rival Pittsburgh Steelers. So they have to be very ready, prepared for that. We know it's going to be physical. Steelers also coming off a loss last week. So the Ravens did exactly what they were supposed to do against an inferior opponent, and they took them behind the woodshed. And so we see Lamar Jackson continue to stretch his lead in NFL history, another record, I guess, for most games with 5 passing touchdowns and 5 or fewer incompletions. Now he has 5 of those, and that leads all time by 2. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger are all tied at 3. So shouts to Lamar for another record. But I'm going to go on the record here and say none of that means anything to me. None of that means anything to me. I understand how great Lamar Jackson is. Everyone understands how great Lamar Jackson is.
Correct.
But when you're that great, guess what the question is? What are you going to do when it matters most? Right.
Correct.
And so that is where we are looking at Lamar Jackson now, because we understand he can do things no other human being can do. There's no question about that. He's a 2-time MVP. There's no question about that. He may get a 3rd one. He may not. But that's not really what's important at this point. At this point, he is great enough, not good enough, great enough to win, but we have to see it. So that is what matters, right? And even if he doesn't win it all, that's fine. Dan Marino never won it all, right? John Elway lost 3 Super Bowls and then had about a almost 10-year gap before he finally won his first championship. The point is, we were seeing those guys get there. We were seeing those guys do their thing in the playoffs. And in every sport, what do we always hear? The playoffs are where what? Legends are made.
Legends are made.
So we want to see Lamar Jackson's greatness become legendary. And there's only one place and one time a year where that can happen. So Giants are not even worth discussing, right? Not even worth discussing, but let's go get it, Lamar, because we know you have the ability to. You just got to show us now. That's all there is to it.
Hey, and I'm going to let it end off with that. I fully agree with what you're saying, man. It's against the New York Giants. I know it was a lot of hype off of the 5 touchdowns and 5 fewer attempts, but I'm like, that's what you should do. You don't play with your food, right? He didn't play with his food. So hopefully this is a little bit of a motivational kicker, because they have a blender of a game coming up next week as they go against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just took an L by the Philadelphia Eagles that we're going to get into in a minute. But, you know, this is the type of game where you're like, okay, I'm like that. Now go show it against your divisional opponent, because they're ahead of you.
That's right.
And right now, you can't afford not much more losses, because right now you're currently 9-5, and the Los Angeles Chargers are 8-6. So the Denver Broncos are also tied at 9-5, and they have some favorable matchups as well. So you're in that point of the season where you can't afford to really lose anymore, with everything being nip and tuck from 5 to 7. So good job by the Ravens. They did what they were supposed to do, and great job by Lamar. But we got to see that next week to get that belief that you guys could make that playoff run against these tough opponents over there. So
yeah. And quick, one more thing before we move on to the next game. Shout outs to Ravens tight end Mark Andrews, who now is the all-time leader in touchdowns scored for the Baltimore Ravens franchise with 48, I believe. So shouts to Mark Andrews. Been getting busy for a while now. So yeah. Big up.
Absolutely, man. Good job. He did something this year. Moving on.
Well, he was injured last year, remember?
Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on over to a team that nobody really wants to talk about. However, they did catch a win. The Dallas Cowboys go into 6-8 as they dismantled the Carolina Chargers 30-14. Cooper Rush had a great game by his standards, but the biggest surprise, well, the biggest notoriety I want to give to is Rico Dowdle. 25 carries, 149 yards. He has really been balling for the last 3 to 4 weeks. Looks like Dallas has found their run game, but I believe they're about 8 losses too late.
Well, they're not done yet, man. They're thinking if we fight, we might could sneak in there, and then you're gonna have to hear more nonsense from Jerry. But listen,
they're down 3 games.
They're competing. You know what I'm saying? And that's really, at the end of the day, all you can ask is for guys to compete.
Correct. No, that's correct. You're absolutely right. Their season's over. They're 3 games behind the Washington Commanders with multiple teams in front of them. It would need a miracle for them to get it. If Washington wins out, of course, Dallas is out. They need a lot. They would need a lot. But, like you said, they're competing. Rico Dowdle is running the air out of that football over there.
He sure is.
Doing a great job over there. Cooper Rush didn't turn the ball over, 3 touchdowns against an inferior opponent as well. But, you didn't play with your food. You got the job done. Defense kept Bryce Young at bay with 2 interceptions, and you didn't allow anything going on the run game for them. So they pretty much put the ball in Bryce Young's hands for the rest of the game and did a great job, man. They did a great job.
Yeah. Dowdle's gonna, if he stays healthy, he'll get 1,000 yards, and shout outs to him for that, man.
Oh man, he's been balling. I picked him up in fantasy, and that's the reason why I'm going to the Super Bowl right now.
Oh, there you go.
Let's get it, man. Go Rico Dowdle. Go Dallas, man. Let's go. Run the ball.
Right.
Anything else about this game? Because I know you don't want to talk about him.
Nah, I mean, I expected it to be closer, with the way the Panthers have been playing as of late, especially Bryce Young. He kind of came back to earth a little bit, but he's played well enough that the Panthers organization is showing faith in him, and they could be just blowing smoke, but they don't appear to be interested in taking the quarterback in the draft. So, man, congrats to that young man, because I thought it was over for him. But he came back, and he's competing and showing like, hey, nah. I played for Alabama. I played in a lot of big games. I'm not just going to roll over. So shout outs to that young fella, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Back to Rico Dowdle. Dowdle this is his third game with over 100 rushing yards, with 18 carries, 22 carries, 25 carries. Hasn't had less than 112 on the ground. So they keep running the football. They're back into these games. They keep running the football. They are in these games. All right, moving on over to the Jets. The Jets found a way to come to Jacksonville and show out. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams looked like the couple of old when they played for the Green Bay Packers. I hate
9 for $198.
I wish I didn't even know that they were here. That's how out of sync I've been with the Jets. I have not paid attention, and this was a game I actually marked once Devontae Adams got traded. But me just being so pissed off at Aaron and the Jets, like, man, why am I going to this game? But he set the bar high, man. Devontae Adams, 9 receptions, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, including 171 yarded all the way to the house.
That's right.
Aaron Rodgers didn't turn the ball over, and they beat the Jaguars 32-25 in the last minute of the football game, man. What do you got to take on this game?
No, man. Really, like you said, man, we got a flashback of Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams looking like the old gruesome twosome there, and really putting in some work together, and just looking good, man. Mac Jones, he had a very good day himself, 31 of 46 for 294, 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he also threw 2 picks, and that hurts, right? We know when games are close, the turnover margin is generally going to be the differentiator. So
correct,
you throw those picks, it's going to beat you, man. But overall, man, just a solid game from the Jets. And how about Aaron Rodgers leading the team in rushing? Whoa.
What?
Didn't
think you noticed that, but we're gonna keep that going. Yeah.
So shout out to the Jets, man. This is so weird. Like, you see bad teams that are still playing hard. I think that, to me, is like one of the biggest differences between the NFL and the NBA. In the NBA, if you're bad, most of the time these dudes just give up, man. In the NFL, in the NFL, dudes are still playing hard. They try and put good tape out there because chances are the team they're on is gonna have a new coach next year. That coach might not want to keep them, so they want to put good tape out there. So when they get traded or released or what have you, they got someplace to land, or they just got the pride because the NFL is just. I think it's a more prideful sport on the whole, especially also the money's a lot less, so the competitive drive is different.
Yeah, no, true. It was a lot to play for the Jets, man, because the last thing you want to hear is that you got beat by the Jags, and there are literally going to be 3 teams ahead of you by the name of the Cleveland Browns, Tennessee Titans, and the New England Patriots. I don't think you want to be on that list if you're Aaron Rodgers.
No.
You don't want to be on that list, man. Of course, they're both eliminated, but this was a win that you kind of like unsoundly wanted to win because you don't want to be at the very, very bottom of the conference after such a poor season already. So big shout out to the Jets, man. I really do hate I missed that game. Devontae Adams, if you ever watch it, man, just throw it to 17 and you're going to have no problems. That boy is still my favorite receiver in the league, man. You just got to give him the ball. That's all you got to do. That's it for the Jets and the Jaguars. We're going to move on over to the Texans. They win in a close one against the Miami Dolphins, 20-12, in a game that really wasn't much through the air, but it was just a lot of nip and tuck defense from both teams. But the Texans end up the victors as Tua threw 3 picks. One of those picks was a game-sealing one. So what do you think about this game, brother?
So I've been giving Tua his flowers lately. And, as a function of how bad the team looked when he wasn't there and he wasn't playing. But I'll say this, to me, that's tough because at the end of the day, man, they just don't beat good teams. And I think that even though Mike McDonald is creative in his play design and all that, and they've got weapons and all that, they're too much of a finesse team, man. And he's not the type of guy that can give that team they don't have the culture of toughness, right? It's not like a football culture, if you understand what I'm saying. And he can't give them that. So I think he's going to end up being somebody's coordinator somewhere. He as of right now, he's not a head coach. And I just don't know if it's his personality to have a team that's tough, right? Like we know Jim Harbaugh, his personality is a team that's tough. Kyle Shanahan, a team that's tough, and others. I'm not going to go down the list, but the point is, there are a number of coaches who that's their personality. You want to have toughness, coaches and coordinators, and I don't think you have that with Mike McDonald. So I don't know how long he is for this job. Mike McDaniels, thank you. They can't win against good teams. They can't win if the weather's not ideal. So if you're Miami and that ownership and you've spent money on these players, whether it's quarterback, whether it's receiver, etc., you got to figure out something. And Mike McDaniel's probably not in the plans going forward. He wouldn't be for me.
Yeah. I'd just say throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
You got two of the fastest receivers in the league. You have one of the fastest running back cores in the league. Why are we doing so much dipping dunking?
Because Tua doesn't have the arm to get it over the top. He doesn't have the arm talent to do that.
He has the arm to get it 15 or 20 yards.
Yeah. But not like, not to truly take advantage of the speed of all those guys. It's not the same.
I just didn't lie. I was watching this game. I had both Tua and CJ Stroud in two of my fantasy leagues. So I was tuned in, and I'm over here like, Tua, throw the ball down. Why are we not throwing the ball down the field? Everything was left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right. And I'm like, okay, all right, you guys just clearly not ready for this football game. Mind you, the Texans defense, they did play a great job, especially in the secondary. They were doing their thing, keeping Tyreek Hill at bay. A lot of crazy motion. They wasn't being bit by it. Jalen Waddle was very ineffective. No catches, no yards, no anything. And they really kept the running game at bay. Excuse me, with 19 carries and 52 yards. But a lot of defense. CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans, they keep the win going, and they remain at the top of that division at 9-5, holding that spot. Just pretty much waiting around for the playoffs at this point for them. Because at this point they have a 3-game lead on Indianapolis, and I don't see them relinquishing that anytime soon. So they're going to be the AFC South champions, and waiting for the playoffs to start. So good job by the Texans, man.
Right.
All right. Moving on over. So this one is a tough team to count out at any point in time. They're 9-5. We're talking about the Denver Broncos. They win
a football team, man.
Very good football team. They win 31-13 against the Indianapolis Colts. Bo Nix was 3 for 3. By that, I mean 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions as well, but his team got it done.
Well, he's a rookie. He's going to have those kind of games. No, I was saying he's a rookie. He'll have those kind of games. I know, right? Jonathan Taylor had a good game, except he freaking drops the ball running into the end zone before he crosses the line. Dude's got to stop that, man. Just run out of the end zone. When you're a running back,
veteran.
If you got it right, if you got a breakaway like that, run out of the end zone. That way this can't happen to you. Yes. Like if I'm a coach, that's what I'm training my guys. If you got a breakaway like that, run all the way through the end zone. I don't care. Just do it.
Yeah. Drop the ball when you get out of the back of the end zone.
That's right. Yeah, man.
Drop the ball when you see the refs do this. At this point, they did that. Are you good?
Right. Now you're good. Look for that. Yeah. And he had a good day. Was it 22 carries for $107? So solid day. He's going to break 1,000 yards if he doesn't get hurt. And this guy is a former All-Pro, former first-team All-Pro. He should know better than that. He should know
veteran.
Better than that.
I mean,
veteran.
Workhorse. Been that way since Wisconsin. So
facts.
Absolutely,
Facts.
man. He knows. He knows better.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Richardson stunk it up. Another one. Under 50% in completions. 2 picks, no touchdowns. But he's just going to have to learn, man. He's just going to have to learn. But I don't know, man. The Colts, so disappointing. So disappointing. I don't even know what to make of them. I think old boy's gonna end up getting fired. Shane Steichen. Yeah, he might make it to next year, but he's not in a good spot.
No.
I don't even know if you're the Colts, do you try to take another quarterback? Because it's looking like Anthony Richardson just isn't it. So like maybe you try to take Dylan Gabriel. He's very seasoned. He's experienced. He can make the throws. Not an elite arm talent. Good mobility. He does not have the physical tools of an Anthony Richardson, but he's experienced, played in different offenses, and if he has a healthy Jonathan Taylor behind him, then that's a good way to start off for a rookie quarterback. So might be something to think about.
No, definitely, man. I called it before the season. I called it during the combine. I said, NFL, don't let Anthony Richardson's athleticism fool y'all.
That's right.
He barely played at Florida, and I didn't like what I saw at Florida. And you guys took him at the 4th pick. He wasn't even after the college football season ended. He wasn't even projected anywhere near the first round. Combine comes around. He shows off. The man is an athlete. The kid is an athlete for sure. Kid is an athlete.
Physical tools.
Yeah, elite physical tools, but he lacks the tools that you need at quarterback to be successful. This season, 1,638 yards, 32nd in the league, 7 touchdowns on the season, 11 interceptions on the season, QBR 46.6.
Yeah. I think he just didn't have the reps, man. I think that's one of the biggest things. He's just missing the reps, but
he didn't have the reps in college.
That's what I'm saying.
I
don't know. Right. I don't know if I want him to get the reps now. But
especially against the Denver Broncos. It's not a team that you want to do it against.
Nah, not at all.
No, absolutely not. But the Broncos, they're now 9-5. As I said earlier, they're currently 6th in the conference. Just trying to win to stay in that hunt. Right now tied with the Baltimore Ravens, who have a big game as well next week. So it's going to get very, very interesting with that football team. Obviously, Denver is not going to be able to chase down Kansas City for the AFC West. Kansas City will remain the champions, barring they go. No, they locked the division up. Excuse me, they don't have 4 more games to lose. Yeah, so Kansas City locked up the division. Denver is fighting for that wild card spot. So there we go. All right, moving on, man. The best shootout of the game.
Yeah.
Boy, this is back-to-back weeks for Buffalo, ain't it?
Sure is.
let's just air it out.
They need to fix that defense, man.
All offense, man. All offense. Yeah. No defense for the Buffalo Bills. True. But the Buffalo Bills hold on to a tight one here, 48-42. That sounds like that's crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Both Josh Allen and Jared Goff, boy, did they put up a show. Man? Sure Josh Allen, 23 completions, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 carries, 68 yards, 2 more touchdowns on the ground. But Jared freaking Goff would not lay down. 494 yards through the air, 5 touchdowns. Boy, was he just trying to throw him back into this football game. And he did a great job of it. But it was a shootout, man. What do you think about this one?
Exactly to your point, it was a shootout, right? And you're hearing a lot of people now saying that the MVP race is over based on what Josh Allen has done in the last few weeks. But if Lamar Jackson finishes out the season the way he played yesterday, like, that race is not done, right? He very well could get his 3rd one. But we also know that the powers that be have been kind of pushing for Josh Allen to get the MVP for a few years now. So it may be some voter fatigue and he may end up getting it. But speaking of records, right, we talked about Lamar's record earlier. Here's Josh Allen, right? Over the last 3 weeks, he has 10 touchdown passes, right? Cool. Over the last 2 games, he has not 10 touchdown passes. I'm sorry. Over the last 3 weeks, he has 10 total touchdowns. Over the last 2 weeks, he has 8 total touchdowns, 4 rushing, 4 passing. And here's the record. No player in NFL history has gone 3 straight games, 10 touchdowns, and at least 4 rushing and 4 passing with no negative plays. No picks, no sacks, no fumbles, nothing. Jesus. No negative plays. Right. He's in the zone right now. He is balling out, and that includes Lamar, who's got plenty of incredible freaking records himself, right? So right now, the way Josh Allen is playing, and what has always been the knock on Josh Allen? What have we always talked about when it comes to this guy?
The turnovers.
Right. Yeah. And so he's got those under control now this year. 25 touchdowns, 5 picks, QBR of 79 on the year. He's leading the league. He's 8th in passing yards, but they're running the football a lot better. 68% completions. So he's balling out, right? Buffalo he threw for 362 and the team ran for $197. So that's beautiful balance, right? We talk about that all the time. As a matter of fact, 34 pass attempts, 34 rushing attempts, right? That's exactly what you want to see. That's beautiful. Meanwhile, Detroit got completely shut down in the run game, 15 carries for 48 yards. That's part of the reason Jared Goff had to go nuts. And also because the Bills got out to an early lead, right? They got out, I think at one point it was 21-7. And, they were out. They were out early and even into the third quarter. And then Jared Goff went completely nuclear. So, to your point, great shootout. Josh Allen's playing out of his mind. Jared Goff, incredible game for him. 5 touchdowns, no picks. And it just wasn't enough. Like that last touchdown kind of made it look a little better than it was. But the Bills, man, the Bills are playing incredible football. Now, I know that a lot of Ravens fans are going to point to, I think, a 35-10 demolition by the Ravens early in the year against Josh Allen and these same Bills. And no doubt we have to take that into account. But those Bills aren't these Bills, right? No, I mean, they were really good, but they weren't these Bills. So, man, I think we got a super exciting AFC playoffs to look forward to, man.
No, absolutely. I definitely agree. Agree with everything. I believe at this point, Josh Allen probably just won it, right? The matchups aren't defensively favorable for Lamar Jackson. You got the Steelers, got the Texans, you got the Browns. All three solid defensive football teams. So it's probably going to be more, hey, Derrick Henry, I'm gonna need your help back there to wear down some of these defenses. For the Bills, they play the Patriots, the Jets, the Patriots. So I mean, he does all he has to do is just not turn over the ball for the next 3 weeks, and he's good. Doesn't need anything spectacular. Patriots are, essentially not laying down, but they're not a team to be fearful of. And the Jets are the Jets. So, I mean, I got much to say about that team. So, I think at this point, Josh Allen is minus 900 favorite as far as DraftKings Sportsbook, and Lamar Jackson is plus 550. So, there's a wide gap now in the MVP race for those two players. So, it'll take some miraculous playing from Lamar Jackson, which we're accustomed to seeing. So, but it's going to be tough pickings against those three defensive teams. Yeah, he's going to be running up against in the next 3 weeks. So, wish him the best, man. You got to go get it if you want it. All right, man. Bills.
I think he wants to win so badly, and I respect that more than chasing a third MVP. If he gets it, he gets it. But we know what Lamar really wants. Just got to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, we're going to go with the Eagles. The Eagles beat the Steelers to help out the Ravens as they're going to be playing the Steelers next week. The Eagles get the ball to A.J. Brown enough to get the 27-13 victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think about this football game, brother?
I think Pittsburgh kind of does what Pittsburgh does. They were able to slow down Saquon Barkley and his running attack a lot. 19 carries for 65 yards. Part of the game he was injured and out, but even still, Philadelphia ran it 42 times for $131. They were not going to abandon the run, so respect due on that front. 32 pass attempts, 42 rushing attempts. So you like to see that as well. But looks like the reports of Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown's demise was definitely premature, right? And so
it was addressed for sure.
Whatever issue they had, they worked it out. But look, Devontae Smith, 11 catches for $109, AJ Brown, 8 catches for $110. So really good showing between those two guys there, really able to get it done. And Jalen Hurts with an easy 290 through the air. And Philadelphia won the Battle of Pennsylvania. So thank you, Philly. Appreciate you on that. So now Baltimore's got to go and do what Baltimore has to do this weekend when the Steelers come to the house. But, it was a tough game. It was very interesting, right? We've been hearing a lot of stuff lately about, Russ Wilson is cooking and this and that. And realistically, for the most part, other than that one game, he had like 400 yards passing. He hasn't been cooking, right? He has been playing well, but not cooking. I think there's a difference. And this was a game here where the Eagles really held Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh offense in check. Pittsburgh couldn't run it. They couldn't really throw it. They couldn't get a lot going. And so this was a situation where you kind of maybe saw some of Russell Wilson's limitations in that he's always been a beautiful and outstanding downfield deep ball thrower, but his intermediate game has always left something to be desired. But we'll see what it is, man.
Yeah. Like you said, Philly did a great job stopping the run. no player got over 7 carries when you're the
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh Steelers. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you need the running game, right? That's just going to open up everything downfield for Russell Wilson, like you addressed earlier. And if you don't have a run game, Russell Wilson does not succeed. Like any other player, you stop the run, you stop everything. Defense can peel their ears back and be like, okay, well, you're down enough. I know you got to throw it. So they can really load up in the secondary because you're no longer are going to be running the football as much as you would like anymore. So Philadelphia Eagles, shout out to their defense. They did a very, very great job holding them at bay. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they definitely, went out there and showed out on the receiving end. Saquon didn't do much, but like you said, he was, kind of in and out of the game at this point with 19 carries, 65 yards, kind of, a little bit less than what we're accustomed to seeing Saquon do at this point. But, ultimately they got the win. Both teams still lead their divisions outright. Steelers do play Baltimore for, I believe, who could be the divisional leader after the win next week. So it's gonna be a great game, man.
It's a huge clash. Huge.
Man, I'm gonna hold my pick until we got to pick on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
You sure you don't want to wait till Saturday this time to just pick that game?
Nah, man. Quick side note, man. How do you gonna have NFL football at the same time as college football playoff? Why y'all did that to us, man? Why y'all did that to us?
To keep us in our chairs, keep us on the TV.
Come on, man.
It's going to be a horrible week for a lot of jobs. It's going to be a horrible week for a lot of jobs. What are you doing over there? Man, dude, everybody's playing today. I can't do it.
Right. Football on your phone.
Man. Hey, football is going to be on everybody's phone, man.
But they say your phone ain't for calling, your phone's for football.
That's for sure, man. Yeah. Well, shout out to the Eagles. They're keeping it they're keeping it at bay. They're currently tied for have the same record as the Detroit Lions. However, they do stand second in the conference. It's going to be a doozy. Detroit Lions, I didn't mention, they lost Sonic the Hedgehog. David Montgomery, will be gone for the season, and they lost the left tackle. I mean, not left tackle, a defensive tackle. Up on the defensive side, he's going to be going on IR, and I think he's going to be missing the rest of the season.
13 defenders to IR, man. Detroit is cursed. They may not be able to overcome this.
Yeah, that's going to be extremely tough, especially when you're losing weapons on the offensive side too. So it's going to be very, very tough. They got to battle. Let me see. I believe they battle Minnesota here in 2 weeks. So it could be feasible that Philly does try to get the number one spot. Detroit Lions got the Bears, they got the 49ers, and then they got the Vikings. So it's going to be a tough matchup between seeing who falls into that 1, 2, and 5 spot, as Minnesota, Detroit, and Philadelphia Eagles are going to be all battling it out for it, because Minnesota is also 12-2. So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be very, very tough for all them teams, man.
Right.
Moving on here, we're going to go to the Cardinals beating out the New England Patriots 30-17. What do you have on that game?
I'm going to keep it simple, man. I believe I did pick the Cardinals because I just look at the Patriots and I say, can we please get Drake May some help? Can you draft this guy some weapons, trade for some weapons, do something? Like, he's going to be all right, but you got to give him something, man. He's got nothing to work with here. It's bad. It's bad. That's it. Marvin Harrison Jr. is so disappointing, man. So again, he's gonna have to show me more than that. Obviously, he's just a rookie, so he can, work hard and clean up some things in the offseason. He does not appear to have that desire for it. And again, that's tough when your pops is a Hall of Famer and money's never been an issue or anything like that. It's like, where's the drive supposed to come from? So I don't know.
You picked New England, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe because you didn't believe in Arizona.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Okay, I believe in either one.
I didn't mean to bust your bubble there, bro.
No. You good. You good. I appreciate it.
I did. You gonna let me know an L before we get to Wednesday? Dang.
Yeah. Either way, that's bad. But no. But yeah, man. It's just I don't know. I just And look, the Cardinals are right in the thick of it for a playoff berth, right?
They are
5-3 at home, 7-7 overall. Like that NFC West is going to come right down to the end, to the end. So, yeah, please get Drake May some help. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Drake May had a great game. I mean, 19 for 23, so he was accurate with the football. Made one mistake, which was the interception, but again,
he's a rookie. That'll happen.
You know, they
not gonna kill him for that.
They released Osborne, one of their receivers, early in the week, and I mean, literally, you can't even name none of these receivers that he's trying to throw the ball to. Hunter Henry, maybe tight end. I mean, other than that, I got nothing for you.
Nothing.
If you were to give Drake May Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm pretty sure we're probably looking at a different football team.
Do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to want to do anything? That's the problem. I don't. He doesn't appear to have any freaking interest in doing anything right now. So
maybe, but maybe not.
Maybe not.
That's just my take, man. That's just my take.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, that's it on that one. They're gonna move on over to Baker. Baker, touchdown maker. He was doing a lot of that.
Yeah, man.
This weekend, as they throttled the Los Angeles Chargers, in which I believe I picked the Chargers. I believe you picked the Bucks this week to win this football game. And Baker, 4 touchdowns and a pick. It's your guy, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and take it away.
No, well, you know, I'm a big fan of Baker, and I'm loving the kind of redemption story that he's gotten since he's come to Tampa Bay. And realistically, it shouldn't even have been that. When he was in Cleveland, it wasn't perfect, but he helped to guide them to their first playoff win in like freaking 25, 30 years. So, I mean, clearly Baker can play. Was he overdrafted at number 1 overall? Yes, but he's clearly a very good NFL quarterback. He'll probably get 4,000 passing yards and 40 touchdowns but before it's all over this year. So he is having arguably the best season of his career. And the crazy part is he's doing it with, you know, having had major injuries to his offensive weapons. Mike Evans is back, so that's a plus. And it looks like he's probably going to get Mike Evans to yet another 1,000-yard season en route to his Hall of Fame candidacy, right? So
definitely going to be Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Mike Evans. Well, he's never not had a 1,000-yard season in his career yet. I think it's like 10 years now. 9 grabs, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he's doing his thing. And here's another thing that was impressive, right? Chargers have one of the better defenses in the nation, in the NFL. And they ran it. They being Tampa Bay ran the thing 39 times for 223. Like, okay, yeah. And you know that was driving Harbaugh and Minter insane. So you know that Tampa Bay was playing the way that they want to play, and then of course Baker being able to throw off of that makes it a lot easier. But this is a good football team, the Buccaneers, that is playing good football right now, and if they can continue to roll, they will win this division, which I had picked prior to the season, if you remember. But they'll win this division, and they have an opportunity the way they are playing to be dangerous against anybody coming down there to Tampa Bay in that first round.
No, absolutely. And they have a favor. They can easily win out their next 3 games with at Cowboys, and at home against the Panthers, and at home against the Saints. So
there you go.
They can easily win out. That would make them, go 7 straight, 7 straight wins to close out the season. So if Baker can do that, man, I mean, that's going to be another great highlight for him in his career. Like I said before, kid was built to that bad hand. I mean, Cleveland Browns, he did what he could over there, but that franchise doesn't know what they're doing. He gets sent to Carolina. That franchise obviously doesn't know what they're doing. And then he had that one little taste with Sean McVay over there in Los Angeles Rams, and he had those couple of games where he just showed his talent, and the Tampa Bay Bucks went out there, gambled on him, and they're winning. They're winning. He's been having a great career with the Tampa Bay Bucks, even after the greatest quarterback of all time left the scene. And he's really putting that team on his shoulders, man. When they need him, he's gonna do what he can to win those football games. So great job to him, man. Great job to him. But man, this was a big game for him. I mean,
it was.
They did everything they wanted.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah. I think at one point I think it was 27 points unanswered. That's shocking.
Yeah. It was the whole second half. They shut out the Chargers in the second half. Yep, 27 unanswered to be routed 40-17.
Shocking. Totally unexpected.
The Chargers left the first half with a 1-point lead to lose by 23.
Crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy work.
Yeah, man.
I couldn't do it like now. Somebody got to go home. Somebody got to get fired.
Yeah. Go. Well, when you're going up against a touchdown maker, you know what I'm saying? That thing can happen to you. You know what I'm saying? No, man, it's good to see the redemption of my guy Baker. It really
no, absolutely. I'm happy for the guy, man. All right, we're gonna move on over to the final game of the evening, guys. We're just about to hit an hour, so why not end it with one of the best teams to be talking about in NFL history? That's the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers go on to beat Seattle in Seattle 30-13 in a game where, boy, you couldn't stop Romeo Doubs from catching some miraculous catch.
I didn't expect that, man. I didn't expect that at all.
Jordan Love, 20 for 27.
Sorry.
My bad, brother.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. These are your goodness. My bad.
Yeah. On a game where Jordan Love, 20 for 27, completion attempts, 2 touchdowns, 123.8 on the passer rating. Josh Jacobs, again, they ran the football. That is where they do best. They run the football. 26 carries for 94 yards. Not much for Josh Jacobs in the second half. I believe he had 73 yards in the first half. But the defense showed their behinds, man. That offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks got bullied over and over and over again. 3 sacks to Geno Brown, who did leave the game in the third quarter with a knee injury. I'm not sure what it is yet. They're getting the MRI on it, I believe, still. And Sam Howell came in just to go get sacked 4 times for a total of 7 on the night, and 2 picks, one by both quarterbacks. So defense got it done, kept Seattle at bay while Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love did their thing on the offensive side of the football. What do you think about this football game and the Green Bay Packers? Excuse me.
I think Green Bay is rounding into form. That is another team that can be very dangerous come playoff time. You're seeing Jordan Love start to scale back the turnovers, and you don't want this guy playing well and not turning the ball over because we know what he can do. And so, it's kind of like we talked about with Josh Allen, right? Once he's got that under control, he can be a very dangerous player. We know he's got all the arm talent. We know he's got mobility. We know he understands the system. He's been in it for years. Jordan Love is legit. Josh Jacobs can run it. And look at this. Back to that balance again, right? 27 passing attempts, 34 rushing attempts. Like this team, man, and we know they can take it away from you as well, man. This Green Bay is a good football. Man, listen, I would say, that's not a team you want to run into come playoff time, because Detroit, at some point, the injury is going to have to catch up to them, right? At some point, it's going to happen. Philly could catch a bad matchup, even though they're really good. Like if they should end up in a spot where they got to go down to Tampa, they could lose that game.
They could lose again.
Right, exactly.
Again, yeah. Back-to-back years.
Yeah. I don't know if I would pick it. We'll have to see when we get there, if we get there. But, they could. And so Green Bay is a team, I think, that can go anywhere and beat anybody. And, they just a really good football team, well coached. They've got all the elements to win. They can take it from you. They can throw it. They can run it. Man, these guys are tough. These guys are very tough. And I wouldn't want to play them early on in the playoffs.
No, obviously, you Dallas Cowboys can attest to that.
Correct.
Not want to have Green Bay in your first round. Jordan Love in the last 4 games, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, only been sacked 3 times. His lowest passer rating in the last 5 games alone, 107.7. So Jordan Love looks like he's shaping up. He's shaping up, getting ready for the long haul. Green Bay, they're playing methodically now. That loss against Detroit was the only loss in the last 5 games. But other than that, they're methodically running a football, giving Jordan Love not many opportunities to make the dangerous throws that he typically makes when he has a lot of attempts. But it's keeping the defenses on their heels when you have a guy like Josh Jacobs just running that thing up the middle. Our receivers are rounding back in the form, and we're doing all of this without our defense fully healthy. Jair Alexander has been out for the last 4 games. He's yet to come back. Once he comes back, that's going to be another top-tier corner. Our other defensive back, Javon Bullard, out of Georgia, he was out this game as well. So those 2 guys are some key pieces in that secondary to not only keep you at bay in the run game, but we can also, keep everything at bay within the secondary with Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams in the backfield in the safety spot. So great game. Again, we beat a potential playoff matchup in Seattle, but we just knocked them out of that position. So they're currently out of the playoffs. Tampa Bay will be our matchup if the playoffs were to end today. I take that back. Yeah. They'll be our matchup if we were to end today. We'll be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, that's a Tampa matchup.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
No, me either.
I don't want to see that. Nah, man.
I would rather see the Seahawks, man. So I'm happy we beat them, but I'm like, did you have to beat them? Like, he could have did something else. But
that'd be a hell of
it's all tied. Seattle
loves Baker. Woo.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Seattle, the Rams, and the Bucks are all tied at 8-6. But like I said, Tampa has a very, very favorable schedule to the way they could win out. So that could be where we end up. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And I believe we play Minnesota too. So I bet, but it's going to be tough to try to win our division out because we already lost against Detroit twice. So Detroit, we need to lose 3 times, which I don't see happening. Even with all the injuries. But
right.
Great game, man. Great game by my Packers. Go Pack, go, baby. If y'all watching, come on the show. Let's talk some Green Bay football. Packer fans, Packer players. Let's go.
That's right.
Yep. But other than that wraps us up for week 15.
Yeah, that's all the games.
That's it.
We can open up the phone line, take a call real quick, and then it's time to sleep.
Oh boy, is it?
Is it?
Got an early morning.
Right. You gonna run this, man?
Run what?
You gonna run these calls, man?
What you mean run the call? They call and talk to you. I know who's calling.
Look at me, man.
He's calling to talk to you, but why you choosing to talk about Lamar Jackson? Like, why don't you choosing Josh Allen, the best quarterback in the AFC? I already hear it, man.
Man, stop. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see what time. Okay. Might have a boxing show tomorrow. That sounds good. Wait, tomorrow's Tuesday, right?
No, you got the football.
Tomorrow's Tuesday. Tuesday. All right, cool. Oh, I got to do that one too. That's right. Damn. What up, Bruce? Yeah, I might have to.
How y'all gentlemen feeling this evening?
Maintaining.
Good, Brucey.
Hey, I watched the game. Green Bay is dangerous. I'm starting to I'm changing my mind on Detroit now. I think I'm flipping. I'm going with Green Bay coming out the NFC. I like what I saw. I like what I saw.
Okay.
Jordan Love is really, really, really good, man.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
Green Bay struck gold again with him.
Didn't they? I don't know how they doing it. I don't know who's scouting quarterbacks for them.
Josh Jacobs, man, the kid is a terror.
Yep.
The kid, I kind of forgot all of. You forget about him. I feel like they got Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love. They got some, and they're young. The team is young.
Yeah.
We're the youngest offense in the NFL.
I don't know his name. I watched it close. It was a big kid. He on number 95 for Green Bay. I don't know who he was. He dominated that game on the defensive line yesterday. For Green Bay.
Kenny Clark.
I know his name.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kenny Clark.
They're dangerous. I see them barring the health of Jordan Love. I see them coming out the NFC.
Wow.
Because Detroit are decimated on defense. So
that's yeah. I don't know if they can survive that.
And defense wins championship. So Green Bay is dangerous. They're coming out the NFC this year.
Mm-hmm.
I see them coming out the NFC.
Talk that talk.
Jordan Love is more Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
But he got some Aaron Rodgers in him too.
Yeah, he does.
He got a little bit, but he's more Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
And see, Green Bay lucky, and they struck gold with 3 quarterbacks, man. Huh? How about that?
I don't know how they did that.
And
Grace of God.
I watched all the games closely this week. Then the Buffalo-Detroit game. Oh man. Okay.
Shootout.
Buffalo looked great, but they also look bad because the defense.
Yes.
Gave up another 40-point game.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Defense win championships, right?
Yep.
They defense look bad. You cannot play like that in the playoffs.
No.
The game slow down.
Yes.
If they go against a team, they got a great defense, playoff defense, and can score a little bit, they're gonna lose. Because they can't stop nobody. So they're susceptible. But Josh Allen right now, he's playing like an MVP. I admit to that. But I also feel Lamar Jackson is playing for MVP as well.
Yeah, I agree.
They're 1 and 2 in the odds right now.
Even a lot of people don't see nothing in what Lamar did against the Giants. But there's a little mustard seed. I see a little. It meant a little bit. He threw the ball accurately. He didn't throw no interceptions.
Nope.
He fumbled the ball, but he got stripped. Get a defense credit on that. He threw the ball accurately.
Very
look good, though. Don't forget the Giants are bad, but they're a professional team. So you just can't say
That's true.
There's no excuses. The New York Giants are an NFL professional team.
Well, that's what we said. We gave him his props because we said that he did what you're supposed to do with a bad team, and that's stomp on him.
I also heard when you said it mean nothing to you, but I understand, Bruce. That's how you is. You're militant minded, man. I respect it.
Nah, man, it's like I was saying. We know how. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The accuracy on the passes.
Mm-hmm.
He looked good, man.
Yeah.
And give the defense, give the New York Giants defensive line some credit. They held Derrick Henry in check.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look at little stuff, little detail stuff like that. So
no, you're right. See, my thing is though, and it's the same thing I've been telling you. We all know how great Lamar is, and that's why there's the pressure on him to show up in the postseason. Because at the level that he's at now, right? He's a 2-time Hall of Famer. That means Hall of Famer. He's a 2-time MVP. One of them unanimous.
That means twice. You're amazing.
Right. He's a Hall of Famer. So we know this. But what we want to see now is that he just bring that in the most key moments because everyone knows how great he is. No one is arguing that. That's long forgotten, right? So what it is now, go ahead, continue to build that legend. At this point, nothing you do in the regular season is nearly as important anymore. So you got to just, even if you don't win a championship this year, that's fine. But we want to see those big games in the playoffs. That's all it is. Because we know that he's eventually going to get one. But we just want to see them big games in the playoffs. That's all.
He had 2 big games in the playoffs in his career. He beat Tennessee in his first ever playoff win. That's a big game for him.
No. We talking about. All right, but go ahead though.
Okay, so you talk about what? Like we move it don't count for nothing because he beat Tennessee.
No. That's not what I'm saying. No. We want to see.
Fact check. Josh Allen 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yes, that's correct.
I mean, no matter the numbers, I don't get the numbers. The only number that counts, right? Is what?
The final score. Final score.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, he's 0-3 against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
No doubt.
So Lamar Jackson game. His playoff win against Houston last year didn't count against Houston.
No, it did. But what I'm saying, like, we want to see
the big game.
It absolutely
the MVP show up in the postseason.
Yeah, we want to see him play like we know he can play.
Well,
like, give us that show, man.
Well, he gave us a show last year against Houston. That game was close at halftime. He came out. We wiped them out. You don't remember that? If you go back and look. Oh, that don't count for nothing, though, huh?
No, I didn't say it.
I'll be honest. They don't.
I'm not saying that, Bruce. I'm not saying that. We just, we want to.
I got you. I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, because exactly, and I believe that. I truly do, because he's that freaking great. He's that great. I just want him to show the world, man. Say again.
Just not certain people just like they still not, try to hold that against him that he ain't do it yet, but still, it's coming. So people don't have. It's like they jumping, they flip flopping with how they feel about him. You know what I mean? They ain't like you're not being loyal with him like I am. You know what I mean? That's all.
No, it's not that. I'm just subjective, man. I'm not. He don't walk on water, man.
I know. Hey, man, Sean Allen. Hey, let me tell you this though.
Yes, sir.
The kid, I'm gonna give him his flowers. The kid is he's beautiful, man. He's beautiful.
Who, Lamar?
No, Josh Allen. Man. The kid is good. Man.
Yeah, he's nice.
Big old, the big old country boy. The kid is good, man. But we did whoop their ass though in Baltimore. That's all I got.
Yeah. We talked about that earlier. Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
I heard what you say. Oh, it's not this. That wasn't that. This Bills. What you mean by that?
I mean, they're playing much better football now than they were then.
They're playing much better football. They just gave up 600 yards off on defense.
On the offensive side of the ball.
Same way. That defense still some shit. Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah, but we see that even when the defense is giving up a lot, we see that they're, for instance, when they played against Baltimore, right? And Baltimore smacked them around 35-10, right? And great win for the Ravens. Definitely showed them who was boss. But I'm saying if they played that again today, I don't see Baltimore smacking them around 35-10. I think that Buffalo. Yeah, go ahead.
So basically saying our defense don't get no credit for what we did that night. And our defense is better, and then our defense is way better than what it was then.
That's not.
Our defense don't get no credit for what we did to Josh Allen.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what you basically saying. Okay, go ahead, boo. Talk to me.
No. I would love to see a rematch in the playoffs because I think that would be freaking incredible. I'll say that. I think it's going to be amazing. I would love to see a rematch in the playoffs.
Listen, with how they defense is playing, they're not beating us.
Probably not. They're
not beating us.
But what I want to see, like, that would be one of those games that I think Lamar and Josh Allen would go. It would be one of them legendary quarterback battles. I think it would go down like that, and that's what I mean when I say I would love to see that.
Nah, I don't see that. We got his number.
Okay, well, we may find out. We may not. I guess it depends on the seed.
No, we're going to whoop them again because they ain't got no defense. They soft.
Okay.
Ain't nothing going to change.
Okay.
What's going to change? Also, I want to say this. Hope y'all don't never wear them damn lime green uniforms ever again in life, yo. I swear, I hate them damn uniforms they wear.
Oh, the Seattle joints?
Yes. Oh, my God. Yo,
yeah, those are pretty bright out. I'm not a huge fan of those either.
Lord have mercy.
Not great.
Man.
Don't worry, we beat them off of them.
Mm-hmm.
We beat it off of them.
Hey, let me give Baker Mayfield his flowers, man. The kid, man, is really I always like the Baker Mayfield.
Me too.
Always
I liked him since Oklahoma. Me too.
Yeah, I always like them. Always like his demeanor. I like the belief he have in himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Tough as nails, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Tough as nails.
Yeah.
That was one of the Cleveland Browns' biggest mistakes they made.
Yup.
They got rid of him too soon.
Yup.
The kid is good, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him his. I'm glad they beat them Chargers because we need those. We need those losses for them AFC teams.
That's right. They beat the brakes off them too, man. I ain't expect that.
Let me say this before I get off the phone about my Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
All that giant shit don't matter if we lose to Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, D. I ain't gonna lie.
Not at all.
That's how I feel right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if Denver wins because you fall to 6, now you're on the edge.
I ain't worried about them because we already beat them. We own the tiebreaker.
That's true. That's a good point.
Not if you lose and they win because then they'll have one more win.
I don't care. We still 2 more games left. I don't care. They ain't like they ain't gonna beat the game. We own the tiebreaker. We beat them. We whooped them, right or wrong.
Let's
no, you're right.
Let's see what Denver's record is. I mean, schedule.
All this don't mean nothing. If we go out there and lay egg Saturday, man.
Seriously. Facts. I don't see that though. I don't see that.
Got Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs.
Not the determination I saw Lamar Jackson started, even though it was the Giants. I mean, I just think something different. A little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
It was everything was a little bit, tight. He was a little bit more. He was tough. This is a different person. I don't know. I don't got no words.
No, I get it.
Hey, boys, have a nice night, man.
Hey, thanks for the call, Bruce. Appreciate you as always.
Absolutely, Brucey.
All right, bro.
All right. Well, another great call from Bruce. Bruce always with the football, and we know he got love for his Ravens. Got to respect that.
If G ain't here, Bruce got to come in.
Native right there. Right. Be more native. All right, y'all. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop it right here. Everybody have a nice night. And I am going to work to get out some more content for you guys very soon. And then, of course, we got the Wednesday night. We'll do our pick 'em and our other 3 topics as usual. So yeah, have a good one. We out. Peace.